Wow, I'm muted. I'm sorry about that. Good evening, everyone, again, and welcome to another edition of our Legacy Builder series. It's our 18th edition on Legacy Builder series on Babes Redefined, and I'm happy to be here once again. Once again, I'm your host. My name is Dolapo Conte, the head of BR Workforce and a member of the BR Advisory Board. I'm thrilled to be here tonight, guys. And I am sure that you're also happy to be here. For those that may be new among us, Babes Redefined is a community of women that are reaching out, empowering women to reach their full potential in every areas of their life, be it spiritual, physiological, psychological, economically, socially, and otherwise. BR started officially on the 12th of November 2010 as a group on Facebook. And since then, we've grown into a membership of about 90,000 on Facebook and even more than that, all over different community hubs. A community hubs for women, which we call campuses, were created in 2010, first at zones and then renamed campuses. And currently, we have over 58 of such campuses across Africa, United States, Europe, and the Middle East. BR was also registered as a ministry in 2011 and as an NGO in 2016. Our vision, as you all know, remains to raise a generation of women with a defined purpose. And our mission is to create spiritual, social, and entrepreneurial solutions that serve and help women and the girl child to thrive globally in their God given assignments. And as you all know, we've been having this series. If you've been following us, we've been having a series of the Legacy Builder series where we have been sharing inspiring stories from all of our founding members and leaders who have stayed the course and have played significant role in shaping BR's vision and mission. Tonight, we have the privilege of speaking with one of such esteemed founding members who has contributed immensely to what BR is today. And before I call her on board, before I share her profile, I'm going to be asking every one of us tonight. First of all, thank you for joining us. If you know anyone that could benefit from this conversation, please ensure that you spread the word and invite them to join us. It's another session of Legacy Builder series. You don't want to miss it. Tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody that we are here again. And I'm glad you're here. We can't wait to share this conversation with you. Trust me, it's going to be a lovely time today. It's going to be a highly engaging session. Our guest is ready to share with us how, what BR means to her and answer our various questions as we threw them to her. All right, so I'll go ahead to read the citation for our guest today. She's a child of God, an administrator, a fashion designer, and a childcare provider. She's also a go-getter, an extrovert, and she has a large heart. She loves to travel, sleep, and have a good time. She also loves God and loves to serve God in any possible way. She loves to connect with women, and that's one of the reasons she actually joined Babes Redefined. She believes that women can achieve all they can if they work together, and that's why the devil attacks women's friendships and gives it a bad representation. She loves good games night, and she's quite competitive. She's a lover of children and believes that everyone deserves respect irrespective of their age. She's the life of the party. She gets along with people easily, but also guided within an inner circle because who your friends are very important and crucial to the trajectory of your life. Our babes joined BR in 2011, and it's been a wonderful ride so far from being an active member online to eventually joining the UK campus and becoming a leader and making lifelong friendships along the line. It's been an amazing 15 years. Welcome on board to me, babes, Modesola Ojomu, a child of God, administrator, fashion designer, and childcare provider. You're welcome on board, ma.
Good evening, Babes Dolapo.
Good evening. Nice to have you. How are you
Nice
arriving
to be here.
today?
I'm good, thank you. And you? How are you
I'm
today?
good. I'm good. How's your day been?
It's been good, thank God. It's been busy. actually really
Yeah,
busy, but yeah, we
I
thank
can
God.
imagine. I can imagine. Today is Sunday. It's around it's about 7:06 p.m. with you guys there. For us it's about 2 p.m. So
Oh, okay.
for me, went to church very early, came back because I went for the first service just to make sure that I have enough time to prepare for the session,
Mm.
and came back like some few hours ago, prepared, and here we are right now. Hopefully, I can get to rest. But you are already at the end of your own day today.
Well, yeah, but it's been a really busy one from church. Well, I didn't get back from church until later because I had
Wow.
rehearsals after. Then I jumped on a meeting, and straight after
Okay.
the meeting, I jumped here. So it's
Wow.
been a busy one.
It's a busy day back to back. It's always like that. When you are creating value, when you're adding value, you're always busy. You just find out that, you don't have all your time to yourself. So I understand. Yeah. So, are you ready for today? We are going to put you on the hot seat, and we have several questions for you. And again, to our babes in the house, I want to say make sure that you're getting someone online. You're not just watching by yourself. Babes Modesola is here, and she's going to answer our questions, and she's going to give us a little peek into how it has been for her in Babes Redefined so far, our journey, involvement with Babes Redefined, and everything you like to hear from her. She's going to be, like she said, she's the life of the party. So we just want to hear from her, how Babes Redefined has been, and what her experience is so far. All right, turning it over to you, Babes Modesola. I'm going to start with, of course, the very first question we always ask our
Okay.
guests on this series. The first question is, how did you join BR? How and when did you join BR?
When, which you already said, I joined in 2011.
2011, yeah.
And how did I join BR? I I joined. It was a colleague of mine that when I
Okay.
was doing my IT, when I was in Nigeria, she she used to share it a lot. You just invite people, like in the early days of Bria, we're inviting people, oh,
Sure,
join the group.
sure,
And then she
sure.
invited me. I think and then I don't think then you needed to approve it. You just, once they add you to a group, you just be in the group automatically. Um,
Sure.
and then I just found the group interesting. It was coming up on my timeline every time, and
Mm-hmm.
there were people sharing their stories, talking about it. It was such a buzz. And I
Yeah.
remember asking her that, and it felt like everybody knew each other. And in a good way, not because I didn't feel sidelined,
Yeah.
but I just felt like
Yeah.
it felt like a family. And I remember
Yeah.
asking her one time at work, I'm like, do you know these people in the like, everybody on this group, or it's just you join? She was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I know the founder because
Mm-hmm.
she used to go to People's Church. I know the
Yeah.
founder, but I don't know every other person, but I just know a few people and the founder." And I
Yeah.
just got involved in the discussion and everything, and that's how I just joined PR. It was because a friend added
Interesting.
me, basically.
Interesting. So you joined the online. Where were you located at that time? Were
I
you
was
in
in
Abuja?
in Nigeria, in Lagos, Nigeria. Yeah.
You were in Lagos. Okay. So did you later join any one of the community ops, like the in-person community ops called zones at that time, or you were just on the Facebook group all through
So I was just on the Facebook. By the time the hub started, because
yeah
obviously I joined in the early days of
early
Babes
days? Yeah.
Design. By the time the hub started, I was already in the UK. By the
In-
time when I moved away from Nigeria, there was no campuses,
yeah.
hubs, or zones as we used to call it then.
Yeah.
It started
Yeah.
along the line because I think it was like in our year 2 or so
Okay.
that the zone started because of
Yes.
when we began to
About 20,
grow.
2014, 2013. Yeah, it started about 13.
maybe earlier, 2012, because I remember the first
Yeah.
UK meeting was in 2012.
Okay.
So I think around
Yeah.
2012, but I'd already
Yeah.
moved by that time when the
Yeah.
zone started. So I never did anything
Interesting.
in Nigeria.
Interesting. So, how has it been even with the UK BR? How has experience with BR being in the UK?
UKBR has been interesting. Obviously, we have our times of wanting to pull our hair out because everybody's
Yeah,
always giving the excuse of it's cold, it's cold, it's cold.
I know. I
But
know.
It's been interesting. Like I think one of the things in my profile was that I've made lifelong friends from
Mm,
UK Bria, people that I never met. Like sometimes I just sit down and think about it that I really met this person online. Like I literally met you online before I met you in
mm,
person, and now you're
mm.
an integral part of my life. You're part of my friendship
Wow.
circle. Before I call like five friends, I've already called your name.
Interesting.
It's been interesting, it's been nice. Obviously we've had our ups and downs, but yeah, generally UK beer is been good. Well, I don't have anything to compare it with, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So why I asked that question? I'm just in curiosity because most people in UK BR, like you expected that they were in BR back home, right? And like
yeah.
a very good percentage of them. But here you now, your own experience is different. Your
Yeah.
own community of experience was first in the UK. That was why I was, quite curious to know what it is. What experience did you have? Was it the same thing that we had in Nigeria? Because people would always say, "Oh, in Nigeria, you get to see people more, right?" That community, because everybody was close to everybody, right? Because we had zones in almost every, for Lagos, for instance, you had zones in almost every like few kilometers apart from each other, so you
Mm,
could meet in person. But how easy is it today for most people in diaspora? For an example is Canada, it's very difficult to move
mm,
around to see yourselves in person. So it's not the same thing. So it's people that we used to congregate and see each other like almost every other, like 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, or even once a month. We are no longer seeing like that again. So that's why I asked you,
mm.
like, how is the
Okay.
UK? But like, just like you
Yeah,
said, you have anything to compare with. So
yeah, but as much as that is said, I also think that
yeah,
and this is not peculiar to BR, it's
yeah.
peculiar to anything. With forming community in the
Mm,
UK or in diaspora, you have to be very intentional,
mm,
because it's easy for you to just go with the work, this life,
yeah,
because you live abroad, and you know that
yeah.
it's very abroad life is very mind your
Mm,
business.
very true.
It's very work focused. It's very
Yes.
go focused. So you have to be
Yeah.
very intentional. And what I found is that people's experiences are different. It depends on the intentionality that you put into it. I have made a
Exactly.
lot of friends from BR. I've made
Mm,
a lot of a lot of people. I've met a lot of people from BR, people that I don't know before. Like I get to say sometimes I go to some functions, and there was one
yeah.
particular time I went somewhere, and the way the person jumped on me, oh my god, you're based for this. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, what's happening right now? What's happening right now? And it's not
Yeah.
because it's just because I'm intentional that I want to be part of this community.
Mm,
And
mm,
I know loads of people everywhere. Like there's
yeah.
well not scarcely. There are places that I will get into right now in the UK,
Mhm,
and I don't have any place to stay. But because there's a
mm.
babes there, and because
Interesting.
I'm putting myself out there in the group, they'll be like,
Mhm,
oh, even though they've probably not met me before, they'll be like, I'll open my door to you. So
mm.
you have to be intentional when it comes to
Wow.
living life in diaspora, trying to build community. It doesn't just come on the platter of gold like it probably
Mm.
would in Nigeria, but you have
Yes.
to be intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be
That's
intentional.
that's a word for our babes in diaspora. You hear people saying, "Oh, this place is so lonely. You don't even have any friends. It's not like back home." But the truth is that to get a friend, you have to show yourself to be a friend. And just like you said, you have to be, it takes some level of intentionality,
Mm,
always putting yourself out there on the group and participating in discussions, engaging in conversations. And that way people can, feel you. They know the kind of person you are. Even they've not met you in person, they are quite, driven to you. They warm up to you because they've been able to feel that personality online. But if you're that silent babe, repent today, where you just don't say anything online, you don't engage in any conversations. How are you going to make friends? How are you going to get people around you and build, this community of women if you don't? Thank you so much for
yeah.
that.
So can I
Yeah,
just add something to that point? Like I
yes,
said, you have to. I love what you said. If you want to be have friends, you have to show
yeah,
yourself friendly. I remember
that's
the
it.
first time I met one babes in person. She had come. She used to live in Blackpool, and she had come to London, and she said, "I'm in this particular area. Is there any babes that is available?" Everybody was silent on the group, but it was basically like
Hmm.
maybe like 30 minutes away from me. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm
Wow.
around this area. And I went to go and see
Mm.
her with her family and her
Oh
children.
my
We went
God.
out together. I took them into London, into we went places.
Wow.
Trust me, the next time she was like, sis, you're coming to greet me in Blackpool. And me going to Blackpool for the first time, I stayed in a house with
Oh,
our husband was there, our children, they accommodated me. And I even went a couple of times after
nice,
that. I'd never
nice.
I'd met her on Briar. I basically
Mm,
met her on Briar. But it's
mm,
also lending yourself out as much as you want people to do stuff for you, but you have to also lend yourself out to be there for somebody.
profound. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So you can't just always want to expect things from people without actually going all out to do that for them. And just like you said, BR is just all about service. It's all about seeking for what you can do to impact other people's lives. And that is what forms the sisterhood. That was what, when people say BR of those days, I'm always laughing. BR of those days is still us, right? It's just that, if we've stopped looking out for each other, if we've stopped going all out for each other and intentionally, like you said, looking out for ourselves, then how are we going to maintain the community? How are we going to maintain that sisterhood experience? And I'm happy, just like you said, you talked about your experience. It's awesome. It's tremendous. Like having those community of women that you can always depend on any day, anytime. You said something that really really shook me. The fact that you can go to any, like most places, and you immediately think of about the babes you can stay with, and they will accommodate you, they willingly accept you. That is a lot. And a lot of people don't know that relationships is not about how much money you have, or
Mm.
it's not about how much money. It's about the social capital you are able to
Yeah.
build, because
Yeah.
the people are very very important, whether we like it or not. And
Yeah.
building these relationships also takes time. It takes a lot from us. Thank you so much, babes Modesola. That was really
Thank you.
profound.
So,
Yeah. I'll go on to the next one. How do you think babes redefines message and mission resonates with its members, and what role do you see babes redefine playing in the lives of women over the next few years? Yeah.
hmm. Interesting. What's the first part of the question?
Yeah. How do you think BR's vision and mission resonates with its members? How do you think that it impacts us as members, and what role do you see us playing in the lives of women?
I think that first of all,
Yeah.
one of the key roles that BR plays in the life of women is allowing them to see themselves the way God sees them,
Mm,
and every other thing flows out from there. When you can see
hallelujah.
yourself the way God sees you,
Mm,
that's the root, and that's how all the branches start to come out. So
mm,
in the life of the young, in the life of the old, and it's not age, it's not based on age. There are people that are older that they don't really
mm,
know what, they only know
mm.
what the society tells them they are. They don't know what God
Yes.
says they are. So as that's how I think Babes to Define comes in. And if you look at the acronym: bold, adorable, blessed, empowered, saved, if all of this can be manifested in our lives, it's
Yes.
just the start of what God is doing. So BR is the message of BR is very timeless. It's timeless. It's timeless.
Mhm.
It's just, and it's in every facet of your life, because there
Yes.
are times that like they will say, the world go whine you. The world will whine
Yes.
you the
So
way things are going. And you'll be
yes.
like, what's happening? But when
Mm,
you root yourself back in the message of, I am a child of God, I am blessed, I am bold,
mm,
I am adorable, I am
mm,
empowered, I am
mm.
saved. So that
Yes.
message transcends generation, it transcends
Hallelujah.
age group. Even
Hmm.
I know we are focused on women, we are women group, but it transcends gender.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Totally. 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 As in, you said it all. It's about building a woman with a defined purpose at the end of the day, redefining who you are, letting you understand who you are as a woman and what your purpose is all about. Great. Great. Awesome. And what do you think? What does base redefine in terms of your involvement with the organization? Can you share some of those experiences that you've had, and how the activities of Babe Redefined has impacted your life as well, personally?
Okay. First of all, I would say Babes Define has given me encouragement,
Mm.
because there's been times that there have been times that life has made me feel down. Life has given me
Yeah.
bad blues. But the fact that I have sisters I have people that I can call on. I was in the group the other day, we're talking about in our WhatsApp group, we're talking about babes who
Mhm.
define our journey so far. And I was sharing something about, I remember one meeting that we had, and there were just about four of us. I think four of us were more like the maybe were
Yeah.
the leaders at that time or something like that. And four of us, it was a cry fest. Four of us were crying because everybody was talking about their life, and
Yeah.
we were encouraging each other. We
Yes.
were talking about
Yes.
what was happening in our lives. It was,
Yeah.
and we all left there encouraged, even though some came with burdens. And I remember somebody
Mm.
was like, somebody was like, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm doing this and doing that, da 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 da.
Mhm.
And everybody was
Mhm.
just there to give her a hug, to
Mhm.
encourage her. That was
Mm.
one thing that Brial has done for me. Brial has given me encouragement. Brial
Yeah.
has also been a safe haven. Remember times where you just come on Brial and just share your story, and somebody is there to say I can relate. Somebody is there to say I
Mm.
see you. It's just been a safe haven where you can share without being judged. Obviously,
Yes.
nobody's going to condone. We're going to go to condone what is not right, but
Yeah.
you'll be encouraged in love, you'll be
Mhm.
corrected in love if need be. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a safe haven. That's what
Yeah.
I'll say.
I agree with you. I think that, knowing that you're not the only one going through something, I think that comfort alone,
Yeah.
just knowing that, see, that people have gone through, even if they're not going through that at the moment, some people have gone through the same thing and somehow they were able to come out of it and they are who they are today.
Yeah.
And then being able to listen to you being able to relate to what other people are also going through at the same time is a whole level of comfort you cannot imagine. And I also heard from you the psychological, you talked about the psychological safety, the safe haven that it presents, that you know that you're in a safe place and you can discuss, these are your sisters, you can unbundle your mind and you can discuss. And there's a saying that a problem shared is half solved.
Yeah.
A lot of times, there was something I learned in one of the trainings I went for, talking about coaching people, that sometimes, even a lot of times, majority of the time, people know what to do, right?
Yeah.
They just need, yes, they just need someone to prompt them and push them
Mm,
in the right direction to
mm,
be able to take those steps, right? They just need the motivation to be able to take those steps. So there's sometimes that when people share their problems to you, all you need to just do is to listen to them, right?
mm,
And just allow them to talk, just allow
mm,
them to embody everything. And then you can ask questions that will lead them to taking steps to, you know, get out of that situation. But so a lot of times, even talking about it alone at the end of the day, as lift, just like you said, you had a meeting and then you all came together. This person talked about what is going through, frustrated, cried. How did that solve the problem? They still went back. Maybe the problem is still there, but at the end of the day, they've been able to lift a big burden from their heart.
mm.
And that is the safe haven that Babes Redefined creates. And it's so lovely to hear that from you again, and that I can so relate with it. Even in the early days, even on, online, where you don't even know those people physically, just hearing from them, hearing, what other people have gone through and what they're still going through and how they've been able to navigate those situations. It's a whole lot of encouragement for all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would take it on to the next one. What advice would you give to new members or young women who are looking to get involved with Babes Redefined?
Okay, I think one advice I would give, and this is because of years of hearing this over and over again, is that we don't know ourselves from anywhere. We met online. So
Mm,
please give yourself to it, participate.
mm,
Because I keep on
mm,
hearing things like, and it's been a long time where be like, oh, they all know themselves. Like, I don't know anybody from
mm,
anywhere. And now I know
mm.
them. But in the beginning, I
Yeah,
didn't know nobody from nowhere. I literally just knew
exactly.
the person that added me, and that's all.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now I know a lot of people. So
Mm,
don't feel like, oh, everybody already knows themselves, whether in your WhatsApp
mm,
group or whether in your, trust me, go there, make yourself known, shine your
mm,
light. And when
mm.
you shine your light, you cannot be hid.
I
You
like.
cannot be hid when you shine your lights. Enter
Mm,
a room and own the room.
mm,
I know that we have different personalities. Not everybody's an extrovert. Not everybody is a talking
mm-hmm.
type. But
Yep.
like I said, I hear it all the time. People say, "Oh, I just feel like everybody knows each other." Like,
Mm,
okay, we know each other, but we can know you if you come into the group. We can.
yes.
So I would just say participate as much as you can. I'm not asking anybody to be a chatterbox. You don't have to be a
Mm-hmm.
chatterbox, but
Mm-hmm.
participate as much as you can. Don't feel like, oh, let me just take the background. If everybody's taking the back seats, who's going to do it? Who's going to be in the forefront?
Yeah.
If they ask for responsibilities, if there's a responsibility they want, put yourself forward as much as you can.
Yes.
And is where you when you water, you'll be watered. Let me put it that
Mm.
way. When you
Where
water,
you
you
watered, you'll be watered. Where you
yes.
water, just like the Bible says, cast your bread upon the seas. At the end of the day, it's going to yield you fruits, and you're going to get rewards from it. But if you don't do it, how are you going to expect any rewards? It's just the law of sowing and reaping, just like you've said. Very, very important. I hope babes are hearing in the house. We have to make sure that we stay engaged with this vision. I think it's the same thing. The same theme keeps recurring from all of our guest speakers over the last 3 weeks. You have to stay engaged. The only way you can be watered is when you also water, right? And you stay engaged, stay focused on the vision. And it's very important that you're also impacting lives. You're
Yeah.
as Babes Modesola said, we all have different personalities. We are not all chatterbox. We're not all extroverts, but there's something God has called you to do in BR. And
Mm.
that's what I always tell my people. There's something God has called you. Just identify that thing and run with it. Because every one of us, God has called us for it. There's some purpose you are meant to fulfill in that place. And it's not very good that we are just armchair sitters and just sit down and wait for everybody to feed us when God has actually put a potential in us. And I pray that God will help us. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for that,
Can,
Beast
sorry,
Modesty.
can I just give an
Yes.
example of
Go
what
ahead.
I'm saying? Can I give an
Yes.
example? So
Yes, please.
I'm going to call names. So if you're watching, babes, when I'm talking about you, and I
Go
really
ahead.
appreciate that. So there's this babes
Yes.
in our group, babes, Bomu. She's
Yes.
not much of a chatterbox, but
Mm.
every now and then she'll send something about, oh, there's a scholarship for your
Mm.
children. There's this job in tech. Maybe
Wow.
she even got it from somewhere and she's forwarding
Yes.
it to the group. But
Hmm.
even though she doesn't talk as much, she's not that vocal in terms of other things when people are
Yeah.
talking and other. But that thing
Mhm.
that she does it consistently,
Wow.
always sending
Wow.
one vacancy or one
Hmm.
scholarship opportunity that you can do
Yeah.
for your children, and that is our own way of watering the group, of watering
Yes.
whatever it is. And
Yeah.
yeah, and even though she may feel like, oh, we are not seeing her, but I see her.
Wow.
I
So
see her and I see that she
we
does
see
that.
you, we see what you do, and God bless you. Yeah, that's what we're saying. People think that I think it's just this. Some people feel intimidated, right? By it's just like what you said earlier, that they're already like they're already some cliques. Like some people know each other and they are so close, and it looks like I'm being left out of the conversation. As much as leadership will try as much as possible, of course, to engage emotional intelligence and try to make sure that everybody feels, nobody feels left out. It's not possible for you, for anybody to, make sure that everybody is treated the same. It's almost impossible.
Yeah.
So it is just, and you said it, you just have to shine your light. You just have to when you come into a new place as young women coming into BR for the first time, try to find your place, find your niche and occupy, just like baseball. Bomu, is that what you call that?
Yes, let's move.
Yes. Yes. Just like she's done, she found her niche and she's been able to consistently deliver and impact the lives of babes. God bless you. Thank you so much for that example. How do you think Babes Redefined can continue to make a positive impact on its members and the wider community? Now, this focus is on the wider community because I know we've talked a lot about the members. And what initiatives or programs would you like to see implemented?
Ooh. Okay.
Yes, it's a strategy session.
I know,
For
right? I should have prepared for that.
The Holy Spirit
Um,
can help.
oh, wow, okay.
Yeah,
I first of all, I applaud BR for what BR is already doing. I know they have a lot of quite a number of initiatives for the girl child,
yeah.
for things like that, for empowerment. Um, yeah. So what can they implement? Ooh.
Especially as it pertains to the BRUK where you are. I know that there are some things that don't apply in different jurisdictions, right? But there's
Mm,
some things that we see around the environment that we see like maybe other organizations doing that we could also implement in BR as long as it aligns to our vision and mission. So if you know any of such, that could be.
I think I'll circle back on that right now
All right,
because
all
even
right.
if I thought about it, I would have.
Let's take it. Let's go ahead. We'll talk about that later.
Okay,
Let's
thank
go
you.
ahead. So I would go back again to your experience with BR again, right? I know that, in all of this, as women, as much as we all like to come together and do tremendous things and achieve great things, there's always this personality differences that leads to clashes,
Mhm.
and that there's sometimes that leadership tries to manage all this face off. But how do you think BR has fared in terms of those challenges? And if you've experienced some, you can give examples. How have you been able to manage through, those challenges of dealing with different kinds of people, right? That's completely that sometimes you'll be like, what's this person even doing here? Is this person supposed to be in BR at all? So how have you been able to deal with that?
Oh, wow. So are we talking on BRUK or BR
Anyone,
generally?
right? Generally, whichever examples you
Hmm.
have, feel free to touch on them.
Interesting. Um, I would say we've had our fair, even on the larger group and in the UK, we've had our fair share of
Mm,
locking horns, and
mm.
then people disagreeing in a very interesting manner. We even had we even had a few cases of people just like leaving the group and saying I'm done because of
Wow.
what they perceive that somebody said to them or somebody did not say.
Mm,
But I think that
mm,
one thing that we need to establish first of all is that disagreements are bound to happen.
mhm.
It's how we
Agreed.
manage such disagreements that is telling of who we truly are. Um so in the time past of some that I can remember, maybe we are having a meeting or talking about something, and then somebody feels that their opinion must be heard, or their opinion must be what we go with, and then somebody else has things that this is what I think. In the time past, what we've just done is that at that moment we probably just cut the call short or cut the meeting short, and then we'll appoint individuals to speak to both parties individually to just
Mhm.
try and mitigate
Yeah.
and just try to douse tension.
Yep.
Um, some have been successful, some have
Mhm.
not,
Mm.
and it is what it is. Like it is
Yeah.
life. When people gather, and I'll never make it a women thing. When people
Mhm.
gather, there's bound to be disagreements. You
Of
even
course.
your spouse, your husband that you
Yes.
eval for better for worse, you could
Yeah.
disagree, and
Yep.
it's just the time. It's how you manage your disagreement that determines
Mm.
whether your marriage will continue or your marriage will not continue.
True.
Some people have divorced because of how somebody pressed toothpaste. So,
Yeah.
but I think that at the end of the day, one thing I have said is, for me, any disagreement, I'm not going anywhere. No leave, no transfer. I'm not going
Mm.
anywhere from BR. If I leave
Mm.
BR, it's because God has told me to leave BR, not
Mm.
because I had a disagreement with
Mm.
anybody. We'll be
Mm.
okay. We'll be fine.
Mm.
But I
Mm.
think that, especially as leaders, when you're dealing
Yeah.
with people, you should remember that people have different temperaments, people have different way of viewing things. I've been in situations whereby I'm going back and forth with this person and I'm saying, "Oh, that's not how she meant it. She didn't mean it like
Mhm.
this, and this is
Mhm.
what." And I'm placating this
Mhm.
person, I'm placating that person. That person saying, "No, no, 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 no. I don't like the way she spoke to me. She spoke to me like." But we just have to wear the cloak of peacemakers and
Mm.
make it. So what I would advise people generally is that if you're in a group, just know that there are other people. people of other temperaments, people of other personalities, and your word cannot be law. Because you
Mm,
gave a suggestion doesn't mean we have to go with your suggestion.
mm. Very important.
And because we chose somebody's suggestion doesn't mean the person is more important than you. We're looking at the greater good of
Mm,
everybody and what will serve us best.
mm-hmm.
um so, like I said, disagreements are bound to happen. And
Yep.
once we get that at the back of our mind, we'll stop
Mm-hmm.
thinking that, oh, see, and they call themselves Christian, why are they disagreeing? Yes, it's
Yeah.
okay to disagree,
Very
but
true.
how do we treat such disagreements? How do we move forward? Does it make or break our relationship? Does it make or break what fellowship we're having with each other? We should try not to let it break the fellowship we have. Disagree, just like the Bible says, be angry but don't sin. Doesn't mean
Mm.
you will not be angry, but don't let it lead to sin. So when you disagree, don't let it lead to a total breakdown of the relationship.
When you disagree, do not let it lead to a total breakdown of the relationship. And I took something from what you said as well, that I'm not going to leave BR because, there's a disagreement, or because somebody, feels that things should not be done in a certain way. And I just feel that it should be done in a way. And, just basic disagreements or even deep disagreements. I'm not going to leave BR because of that. Very important, because at the end of the day, it's the vision and the mission of BRL that holds us and binds us together. And as God called us to that, is that what God is saying at that moment? I think that is what is most important. So irrespective of those disagreements, like you said, disagreements would always come in a group, whether it is women or men. You always have disagreements. And part of the reason is because we are all at different levels of growth. I'm sure that where we were in 2011 is not even where we are today, even ourselves. There were some things, some beliefs we held on to so strongly at that time that we've let go over the years. And that's why we need to give a level of grace to some people that have not, maybe new joiners, people that are just joining, that have not gone through that training, right? They've not gone through all of those value, a lot of programs that we've had over the years that has shared a lot of things out from us. Those tables that have been broken. Some people have not gone through all those tables shattering, so you can't really hold them. And some people need, some levels of character development, personal development, and we need to extend, as leaders, we need to extend them a lot of grace. And like you said, it takes a lot of servant leadership, right? And trying to placate and mediate. A lot of our jobs as leaders is mediating between,
Yes.
fielding parties and all of that. You have to mediate, and you can't take sides. You can't afford to take sides as
Mhm.
a leader. You just have to like be understanding and seek to understand people rather than being understood. But then we are also bounded by the word. We are also not going to tolerate, some things that are
Yeah.
against the
Yeah.
foundation of BR, which is the word. And there's sometimes we actually let people go. Yes,
Yeah.
we let people
Yeah.
go. It's not because we are sorry that they are going, but we
Yeah.
have to let them
Yeah.
go if that is going to be inimical to the growth of the organization. So
Yeah.
I like what you said, and I'm sure that all our babes are taking notes. I'm sure that we whatever we're doing at the end of the day as leaders would always bind us together and make us to work towards the same vision.
Mm.
Yeah, thank God. I would go on to the next one. And can you share some memorable moments or experiences? Okay, you've told us about some. Do you want to share, like, I know we've talked about challenges.
Mm.
Now I'm turning to back to like beautiful experiences that you've had, maybe an event or something, impacts maybe to the less privileged or to women and girls. What are some of those memorable moments or experiences you've had with Babes Redefined, and how have they shaped your perspective?
Memorable moments. I think the memorable moments are times where we just come together to support one another. I
Yeah.
remember in the beginning, this was some years back when we just got a message that, oh, there was this lady that got pregnant and she was still in uni and all of that. She was in the UK and she was looking for what she was in a fix basically. And then we
Wow.
came together, we discussed, okay, what can we do? First of all, we wanted to be sure that it was legit and it wasn't
Mm.
somebody just trying to scam us.
Sure.
And
Sure.
we appointed a doctor in our midst. The doctor spoke to her, like she actually came to see her
Mm.
and then
Mm.
told her to bring all her medical files and all of that. And yeah, it was legit and people rallied around, people gave money, people gave
Wow.
products. So people were like, "Oh, I have a Moses basket that you want. I have baby clothes. I have this. I have that." And she was able to go through that phase of being a young girl that got pregnant out of wedlock, and she was able to go through that phase.
In
And
diaspora,
yeah, that's
you have to put a context.
exactly in diaspora. And her parents were not here. It was just her and the guy. She was still in school, and all of that. But she was able to come out through it through because God used us to help others. I mean, and us, I mean, Babes Redefined as a group, and everybody at that, well, everybody as much as they could chipped in, and
Hmm.
it was just such a beautiful moment. Now
Yeah.
she's married, she has more children,
Hallelujah.
she's everything is better for her now, and this was
Hallelujah.
because obviously I'm not saying if we're not there, God will not raise other people,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
God did it through Babes to Define, and we're there for her to support her. Even me and her, we're still very good friends till now.
Hallelujah.
Um, yeah, that was such a memorable time. I
Hmm.
think some other times memorable was just times of fellowship that we had together. I remember one time that we just impromptu put up something called Amala Hangouts, and
Wow.
also
In UK.
okay,
Wow.
we just got news that Pimo was coming into town. Pimo had
Yeah.
not moved to the UK at that point.
Hmm.
She was coming into town, and before we'd actually been talking. Sorry, there's something right. We've actually been talking about Amala. Something was just we're having a gist about Amala. We're like, oh, why not just turn the Pimo's
Hmm.
visit to like Amala hangout? Somebody said, oh, you
Hmm.
can come to my house. Somebody said, oh, I'll
Hmm.
bring the Ewedu. Somebody said, I'll bring the Begiri. Somebody said, I'll do the Amala.
Wow.
And before we know it, within like 2 weeks or so, everything was set.
It's not easy.
Everything was set, and it
And
was
you have
such a
plenty people
beautiful
show
time.
up.
Yeah, a lot of people showed up. It was such a beautiful time.
Yeah.
Somebody brought, like I said, somebody brought stew, somebody brought a wedu, somebody brought the bakery, somebody made the
Uh-uh.
amala, somebody brought this,
So
somebody
it
brought
was
that.
different.
It was different people that just came together to,
Wow.
to and you know the funny thing,
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like those impromptu hangouts are always the
Yeah.
best.
Yes, I
I
agree.
remember the time babes,
Hmm.
I'm sure you know her, babes Jumzi, she's in Canada now.
Yes, I know
She
Babes
just said that
Josie,
she just
Mama.
said, "Oh, she's coming to the UK." And she was like, "I would like to meet
Wow.
UK babes." This was before she
Hey.
relocated to Canada. She was coming to the,
Wow.
and before you know, we just say, let's plan her hangout potluck in the park." And
Wow.
a lot of people turned up. I think that was one of the
Awesome.
highest turnouts that we've ever had
Wow.
in UK VR event.
Yeah.
It was just so impromptu.
Mhm.
We already had a summer hangout, so that year.
Already.
And but we're like everybody was like, babe Jumsy is coming, babe. And because
Yeah.
and it goes back to what I say about
Hmm.
putting yourself out there. Babe Jumsy
True.
put herself out there.
Mm.
Everybody, a lot of people knew her on the group.
Mm.
You may not
Mm.
know her facially, you may not, but once you hear Babes Jumsy with that
Exactly.
as silver shoe that she wants one, is this 50th anniversary? I'm sure you remember this thing I'm talking about. And that shoe that she wants,
Yes.
that I think it was 50th anniversary. Everybody knew
Yeah.
Babes Josie. So when we said,
Yes.
"Oh, Babes Josie is in town, let's do
Mhm.
hangouts," and somebody said, "Oh, I'll bring jollof rice, I'll bring this dodo, I'll bring
Yes.
plantain, I'll bring this," and before you know it, within like
Can you
1 week,
imagine?
we planned
Mm.
something, and it was such a beautiful time.
Wow.
Such a
Wow.
beautiful, beautiful time. And now I see some of the children, people that came with children, and I see some of them now. Some of them are taller than me,
Of
and I'm like,
course.
where did you go?
Time flies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting, interesting. When you talked about memorable moments and you mentioned, that outreach to that babes, that was very emotional for me. That you don't know. We were saying something in the previous series and with other babes. We really don't know the impact of VR, right? If we need to like put all of this together, it's something that is mind blowing beyond what we can even envisage beyond more than we can comprehend, right? Imagine these babes that, went had to go through all of that. Some other people had to go through that experience and they ended up, aborting the child, or maybe being sent back home because they cannot handle their medical expenses. A lot of things will just happen to them because they're not getting the right support. Some people even end up in mental facility because they are depressed, right? But having the community of women that are able to gather around you, no judgment, they're just by you, just to make sure that at the end of the day is the right outcome that you get. And feeding you with the word, feeding you with encouragement, words of encouragement, giving you financial help and everything here and there. It's a whole lot that we cannot even imagine if you put ourselves in that kind of situation. That was profound. That was profound, and I'm really, really glad. I'm happy that UK Babes were able to get that accomplished. And I know that there are a lot of other things that you guys have done over the years that you cannot even mention everything on this program. And then talking about all our hangouts, that we've had. Uh, and there's one thing you also mentioned, that social capital, being able to build enough social capital that when you come to a city, people will come out. That is a whole. People don't know how much that is, right? That your name resonates with other people, and your name is not just resonating because you just want to show off. Your
Yeah.
name is resonating because you have been able to impact people's lives, right? Either in you can't impact anybody's life if you are just silent on a group. They're asking for ideas, you're not giving any ideas. They are discussing, conversing, a conversation, something that even impacts you. You are not vulnerable enough to even share, right? Maybe you've even gone through, those experiences before. You're not vulnerable enough to share those experiences with others so that they can even learn from it. Because coming out, putting yourself out there, it's a whole lot.
It is. It is.
It is a people think that you think people that share their stories, they just want to share. Trust me, is a whole lot for people to put themselves out there because this social media,
Mm,
a lot of people just want to be as private as possible. But if
mm.
everybody decides to be private, how are you going to relate with other people's experiences now? How? If everybody decides to be silent like you, if everybody decides to keep what is theirs, of course, there's still some private things that you can keep.
Yeah, 100%.
Much as possible, it's very important for us, when we find this kind of community where there's psychological safety, that it's very important for us to be vulnerable. And it takes a lot to be vulnerable. It takes a lot to be, and that vulnerability is what you call putting yourself out there. Putting
Mm.
yourself out there is a big deal, and that is what has earned a lot of babes that social capital, that relationship capital they have been able to build over the years. That when people see them on, you see some people on Facebook and you're like, where did I know this person? It's all.
Yeah.
And you see some people congregating on Facebook, they make a post, everybody likes it. Do you think everybody is just liking it? Everybody is not just liking it. People
Yeah.
are able to build those relationships, and those
Oh my
relationships have
God.
transcended even Facebook to in person. I see some people bonding together, like somebody returned from Canada back to Nigeria, and I was like, so these people know each other. But in my mind, I'm like,
Mm.
it's
It's
VR, it's
basically
Babes Redefined. So, and that is what Babes Redefined has done over the years. And I want to say, if you've been in Babes Redefined over the past decade and you are still not in this, you're still feeling left out, my dear, I think it's time for you to change. It's time for you to start to put yourself out there and become vulnerable.
yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a lot you lose something in vulnerability, but there's a lot for you to also gain from being vulnerable and
Yeah.
sharing your story at the right time. Let's try to do this even within all our communities and build the right social capital. God will help us in Jesus' name. Thank you
Amen.
so much, babes, Modesola. I think we're coming to the end of this so fast. I have not really stressed you so much. Okay, yes, you still have one question that you have not answered. When you are ready, let
Please
me
don't
know.
stress me.
I learn when you are ready to answer that question because that strat is like you are going to submit the assignment after this.
after
That
the last
strategy session. You're not going to miss it. All right. So I'm going to go to the last, very last question. And that is, what message would you like to share with BR community on how we can continue to support and uplift one another? The context behind this is you find out that a lot of babes are, saying, oh, we used to have this tight community before now, because most people have other distractions, right? It's not the same. It's not like it used to be on online before, that when you post something, like everybody responds and everybody engages the post. There's several other, even on WhatsApp, posts don't get engaged like that again. So
Mm.
how do you think we can continue to support and uplift one another? I think we talked about a bit of them, but I think you can also expatiate on it.
Okay, first of all, I want to say that it's okay to acknowledge the fact that life is in phases,
Mm,
and because something used to
yeah.
be the norm
Mm,
doesn't mean it's going to be the norm now.
yeah.
Life changes.
Hmm.
Even the fact that we came together on Facebook, we couldn't have talked about this some 50 years ago. What was
No way.
Facebook? There was nothing like that. There
True.
was nothing. So imagine that we were stuck in the 1950s and we're saying that we don't want to move to Facebook. We don't want to
Profound.
fund this. So this thing that we're saying, oh, we missed those time, we missed those time, it was never there.
Mm,
This is still everything is in the past 2 decades. The
hmm.
whole Facebook life is in the
Yeah.
past 2 decades or so, yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah.
So it's okay that life changes. It's okay
Hmm.
that things, because I acknowledge the fact that the larger Facebook group is not as it used to be before. People
Yeah.
are streamlining more into the WhatsApp groups and all of that. Um, and it's okay. It's fine as long as the core of BR is not lost. As long as
Mm,
we're still meeting the needs, we are still passing our message, we're still
yeah.
impacting lives.
True.
We don't have to do it the same way we've done it. It's just like, remember when we all went into pandemic, all of a sudden people that were against live stream, oh, you have to come into physical church now. Everybody's live streaming.
Everybody.
You
Yes.
can be in Nigeria and your church is
Hmm.
in the UK, like
Yes.
your home church is in the UK,
Very true.
and you can be in
Yes.
Nigeria, and
Yes.
you will say that this is my pastor. My pastor is one
Uh-huh.
pastor in UK or in Canada,
Yes. Yes.
and you are truly even more committed than somebody that lives down the road.
Very true.
So because life is changing, so that's one thing
Yeah.
that we need to acknowledge. And again, I also think that as individuals, we probably should not be everywhere, because I feel like in this time we see this need to be in everywhere. Oh, there's this
Mm,
program, there's this group, oh yeah, let's join. There's this
mm,
kinikon, let's join. There's this, let's join. You don't
mm,
have to be everywhere. You don't have
mm,
consolidate.
mm,
Consolidate what you want. What is your focus in life?
mm.
Which of these groups will serve you? Because I think that
Wow.
a lot of people are too plugged into too many things, too many
True.
groups, too many and that is why you are not able to effectively give yourself to all 30 groups that you belong to. 30 women
Kilo
fellowship that you
day
belong to.
30.
That may be an exaggeration, but there are people that belong
No,
to too
I
many
understand.
things.
I understand you. I
You
understand.
cannot give yourself, you cannot effectively give yourself
No
to all
way.
of this.
No
And
way.
also, I think that on the part of the leadership as well, and when I mean leadership, your campus
Yeah.
coordinators and all of that, let's
Yeah.
try and do things that meet people's needs.
Mm-hmm.
And in trying to do things that meet people's needs, probably you're going to come up with programs. I also encourage people, that's the
Yeah.
your members, the babes, please volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
When they ask for hands that, oh, we need people to lead prayers, we need people to take Bible study, we need people to um I won't say things that I don't know what works in Nigeria, but for us now there's things that we call like living in diaspora that helps people
Mm-hmm.
settle down when they come. That may not
Yeah.
be applicable to people in Nigeria and all
Sure.
of that. But when your leaders, your campus coordinators, when they call for hands,
Mm-hmm.
please be there. It cannot be the same. And I think that is one challenge we faced in the UK, is that it
Mm.
was the same people that were doing
Yeah.
it all the time. And burnouts could occur when it's the
Yes.
same people that are doing it all the time, and people are
Yeah.
saying the same people that are complaining that, oh, it's not the way it used to be, it's not the way it used to be. And
Mm.
the one that even makes me laugh the most is that, oh, when we're in Nigeria, this is what it happened. Okay, come and replicate it here in the UK. Please, we need hands. Come and replicate it. Come and work
Nice
that magic.
one.
Come and work
Yeah.
that magic here. And I'm
Yes.
not even saying this to diss anybody. I'm saying it truth
Mm-hmm.
and factually. Please
Yes.
bring that fire, bring that energy, bring
Yeah.
it to here, and give
Mm-hmm.
us that energy that you had when you were in, for example, I don't know anybody from there. This is just example. When Surulere zone, or we're in
Yes.
Port Harcourt zone, or when we're in Ikeja zone, bring
Yes.
that fire that you've got. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like sometimes it's like they come and the fire is just doused. I pray that you
Mm.
receive your fire back in Jesus' name.
Amen. This is what. Thank
But
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you
Just
so
try
much.
to
Yeah.
volunteer, put your hands on
Mm-hmm.
the plow, and
Yes.
let's just build this community together and have a great
Yeah.
relationship.
Absolutely. Thank you. That was profound. That was profound. If I can just paraphrase all you've said, I think you said three things. The first thing is that we should acknowledge that times have changed, right? Change happens. And we should not just stay stuck in one position and learn to move with the times. Things have changed. The vision and the mission of BR remains the same, but the way we're going to express it changes with the times,
Yeah.
right? Facebook was Facebook at the time we started Facebook, we were the only female group on Facebook at that time. But a lot has happened. We have had several groups after then. And then the second thing you said was consolidate. Stay, I think that is focus. That's still focus. Stay focused. Ensure that if you're somewhere, you stay committed to where you are. Don't be in too many groups. Consolidate in one, two groups that you know you're going to be committed to and put in your all in all. Because at the end of the day, where you water is where you get watered. Yes, I'll still go back to what you said.
Mhm.
Where you are, where you water, where you give all of yourself, it is where at the end of the day God is going to reward you. So make sure that you are not cutting yourself into many pieces, and at the end of the day you're not able to deliver. And you also, lastly, you also talk to babes. Babes have to make sure that they continue with that fire. I know that a lot of us, somehow we might have lost the motivation, probably because we are looking to other people for help, for support, and we're not getting that. It is time for that revival. And we know that our theme for the 15th anniversary is fresh fire for lasting legacy, right?
Mhm.
So you're just in the spirit, fresh fire for lasting legacy, and that is where we're going to. So make sure that you are well prepared for the 15th anniversary and you're ready to go in with that fire as we go into
Yes.
our 15th year, and we're going to be doing exploits by the grace of God. Thank you so
Amen.
much, Babes Modesola, for sharing your
Thank
insights and
you.
experiences with us tonight. Really
Thank
appreciate your contributions to Babes Redefined over the years. And we're grateful for your dedication and support to this vision. And we pray that God will continue to water you in every area of your life in the name
you.
of Jesus. You receive help
Amen.
for everything that you have asked God for. The Lord
Amen.
will not relent in giving to you in Jesus' name. It is well
Amen.
with you. Do have a wonderful, wonderful week
Thank
ahead.
you so much. Thank
Oh,
you so much
come
for
in.
having me. And
Yeah,
well done. Well done. Great job you're doing. I pray the
thank
Lord
you.
continues to bless you. The Lord continues to uplift you.
Amen.
The Lord continues to multiply
Amen.
you. And
Amen.
happy anniversary, BR. Happy 15 years.
Happy anniversary. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, babes. As we wrap up this episode of the Legacy Builders, we invite all our audience to share their thoughts and reflections on what we've learned tonight. Make sure that you go to our Facebook, go to YouTube, and share your thoughts and reflections. Ensure that you also share this video as well as other videos you might have missed in the past. And don't forget to invite your friends and families again to join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Nigerian time for another exciting episode as we continue to build momentum towards our 15th anniversary. Until then, stay blessed and empowered. Love you.